record. So, all right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a live Q&A with Stefan of GTVH. Stefan, welcome back. It's
Hey
been a
John,
little while. So,
how you doing?
good. How about you? Before, it's not really a podcast, but before we jump into the questions, do you have any announcements or updates that you want to give everybody before we begin?
Well, I'll just say that I hope everyone saw our press release today. In addition to that, I would say that the significance of this press release is probably much greater than anyone knows yet. And in the months ahead, once the contract actually gets a little more, I would guess, I would like to say, gets a little more traction, we're going to be disclosing the numbers involved on these transactions within Mexico, and then also updating the numbers as the contract grows, and we believe it's going to grow substantially into 30,000 stores. So it's very very exciting for our bottom line and for our entire company, and I think it's absolutely massive for us.
Oh, congratulations! Seriously, I know this has been something you've been, working on in the background for a while, so it's good to see that all your hard work's really paying off.
This is one of many things coming on the Saunder side, and a lot more on every other division as well.
All right, so if you're ready, I actually see quite a few good Sonder questions right off the bat.
Sure.
So the first question is from Dom. Dom asks, when product is being imported into Mexico, is Sonder planning to use a stocking inventory partner or just ship as needed from the product source?
So we're a manufacturer. We manufacture product. We sell them to a importer and a distributor. That distributor then has relationships with pharmacies and stores across Mexico that they distribute their product into.
And to kind of tie it to the second question, you're talking about shipping. They're asking, what kind of commitments have you guys made to your customers in Mexico to ensure safety and security of the supply?
None. We actually just sell to the importer and distributor. The importer and distributor handles all of that.
Oh, great. So you don't have to worry about any of the local politics then. Did I lose you? Just one second. Okay, looks like we may be having an audio issue. Just give me one second.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Now I can hear you.
I don't know what happened to us. I apologize.
No, it's fine. Look, audio audio issues happen all the time, especially with Discord. It's fine. Um, so what about the like supply levels? Do you guys have a minimum guarantee, like where it's, hey, we'll make sure that we have this much allocated for for shipments to Mexico, or like can you kind of explain how the logistics of that work?
Yeah, when a client purchases from us, there's a minimum order quantity that they must meet. Typically, they'll deliver X amount of SKUs that they'd like to produce, the designs that they like to have. We then formulate and we then package based on what they want, and then we sell it directly to, in this case, the importer and distributor, which has the relationships across Mexico.
Okay.
So we're a manufacturer. We're the only company that has approved products to manufacture in Mexico or
Okay.
for Mexico.
That's perfect because Craig's questions actually that you mentioned Sonder Fulfillment is the only company to supply CBD to Mexico. He said it looks like there's other suppliers of wholesale CBD. Um, could you reiterate on that a little bit more? And then the second question was, is Sonder agency part of GTVH's long-term plan?
Twofold. Let's go to the first part. We can't sell bulk material to Mexico. So if we wanted to ship 1,000 kilos of isolate or distillate or crude, we can't do that. Only approved, and we have the only company that has approved products that we can manufacture for Mexico. Secondly, on Saunder Agency, they are absolutely an elemental part of our company. I hope and believe that one day they will be a part of our company, as they're still part of this family, just not officially formalized in this family yet. But yes, they've not only done the rebranding on Golden Triangle, High Frontier, they're going to rebrand the entire company. They're a full blown marketing agency as well. So the digital ads that they do are amazing. We're working on full programs for digital advertisements on basically every single division, our social medias, our product, our services, and every aspect of this company. So they're building as we speak full ad programs for everything within Golden Triangle.
So, okay. Sorry, I had cut out. Another question from Dom says, based on the model that the Discord community is developing for the business, is there, sorry, there is some great data coming out suggesting that HFT will need a few regional sales reps to focus on converting the large family farms and non-family farms to becoming high grow early adopters. How many salespeople do you guys plan on hiring to execute this?
Well, the more people that can help us sell, the better. But our goal is very simple. Cause my timelines to not be accurate. So I just hate timelines. But I'll say very soon, our company is going to deliver 4 units, version twos, with the IP protected in the units, to a very reputable farm, a very, very big professional farming organization. They're going to test a full study on a handful of different crops. And what they're going to do is they're going to create a full predictable outcome, meaning that if you water your plants with our hydrogen water, you use this seed, you use this farming technique, and everything else that they have in their plan to create an exact predictable outcome. We're going to know that you're going to produce this. So if they follow our roadmap with our high grow, you will produce this. Once we know what that exact predictable outcome is and that exact benefit per plant species is, we're then going to be able to create a pricing model that makes sense for our farm and for us. What doesn't make sense is if we go out and we sell a unit for, let's say, $10,000, and maybe it's just a once a year payment that a farm has to lease, pay for the lease of the equipment. And let's just say we only get 10,000 a year, but the farm's making $1 million in profits more because of our technology benefit. That just doesn't make sense. Having this predictable outcome, we'll be able to see exactly what the farm is doing currently and what they will do with our model and our roadmap. And then we'll be able to go to every single farm within that plant species and be able to give them exact roadmap as to how to produce X, which is going to be substantially more, I believe, than what they're currently doing. And I believe that the benefit to us by having this exact predictable outcome is significant, because we'll be able to make a flat fee per unit, and then we'll also be able to make money on a per gallon basis that runs through each unit we sell. So yeah, and back to your question, I'm so sorry I got sidetracked there, but back to your question is, yes, once we have these predictable outcomes and we know exactly what our unit's going to do with that model per plant species, yeah, we want to get as many different salespeople as we possibly can that can swing and sell this thing, because we think it's going to sell themselves.
So do you have, well, again, I know you don't want to commit to timelines. Do you have like one or two guys kind of lined up where you're like, hey, these are the first two sales guys that I want?
Oh
Um,
yeah, we've already got them in place, and they've already been pre-selling and making pre-introductions.
dude, that's awesome. Actually, another question about hydro. It says, given the hydro unit's need for power, is there any possibility of a partnership with, any company to help provide clean energy to run them? I guess, either via solar or hydro or.
Yes. One of the things has been is, if you have a water line in the middle of nowhere and there's no power, how do you plug this thing in? So we were discussing options where we could build either a package where we would offer a solar panel and a battery that connects directly to the unit, so it can get powered anywhere. But yeah, we're absolutely reviewing all options, and we're definitely going to have a compatible unit for applications that don't have power.
Okay, so for somebody that'd be interested in buying this now, um, what's roughly the lead time on one of these units?
Well, they can't buy one right now, but when they're ready, our goal is to produce 500 units a month. The goal is to ramp up production to 500 units a month and then expand our production to thousands of units a month. So depending on our sales and depending on what's out there, I hope that we'll have either units on deck where we can sell. If not, it just depends on what's in the pipeline and what's being sold.
Okay. We're gonna shift gear for a second to Vegas, which I think is one of your one of your more favorite projects, the Sahara Event Center. Um, you'd mentioned that you wanted to become a destination event hub. What plans do you have to partner with hotels and other local venues in order to create mutual benefit?
Yeah, so we're not there yet, but when we get the event center absolutely up and running, we do plan on partnering with hotels. We have a relationship with several key people at MGM, which is M Life. So yeah, we have that in the back of our head. Sahara Event Center is a massive project. It's probably minimum $15 million project. If I do it right, it's going to be a lot more. But yeah, we have the plan, the agreement. Everyone's ready to go. Our only holdup is capital. I do not want to raise 15, 20, $25 million where the stock is today, nor do I think I'm even going to have to raise it with stock if our business does what I believe it's going to do. So obviously my goal is to get this deal done as best and fast and smart as possible. I just don't want to raise that amount of money, I guess, through equity here. We would just cut our legs off.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
there's one that's a fair assessment. I mean, there are companies that do multi millions a day in trading that would that kind of capital would still kneecap them. I mean, it's a balancing act. It always is.
yeah, it's a project that when the time's right, we will have it. And I'm not concerned about the project going away. I'm more concerned about making sure we do it right so everyone wins.
No, I can respect that. I mean, again, it's an ambitious project. It's something that if done correctly, could really shake up the industry. But you also don't want to look at it 6 months later and say, you know what, I really should have done it this way, or maybe we shouldn't have cheaped out on this part just to try to rush it through. There's just certain projects that you got to do it right the first time because there may not be a second opportunity.
Correct.
So
It has to be done right. And if it's done right, it'll be the most insane place in the world.
So continuing that line, Dom asks, can you plan, or as the investors as a whole, can they plan some kind of Vegas meetup?
Would
I
love
think,
to. Would love to. So our September 17th show is at the Sahara Event Center. That's in 2 weeks from tonight. And that show is going to be insane. I'm so excited. I mean, literally, we're doing like an end of the world theme. So we've got broken buildings on the stage. We've got like a Mad Max car. Like, just the place is going to be so cool, and it's going to be one of our debut shows. This show has been canceled twice before because of COVID, and it almost got canceled the third time as there was talks in Vegas about another shutdown. So we're in line to have an epic night. The lineup is some of my favorite artists. So the music in the show will just be unbelievable. So the answer to the question is yes, we can meet up at any of our events. We're also working on, I mean, fingers crossed. I don't even like saying this in case it doesn't happen, but fingers crossed, if all goes well, I'm working on a New Year's show, and it looks like it very well could happen, but it's not 100%, and it could be 100% next week or the week after. So fingers crossed if that happens, it's going to be hopefully in one of the most insane venues in Vegas, and it's going to be our biggest show by far if it does happen. So I'm praying to God that it does, and I'm really working really hard to make that happen. Now, separate from our shows, I would love to do a shareholder meeting. One of the things that we've been really working towards is getting our live stream set up. So our live stream, you should see our shop. I'll see if I could send a picture to the thread here in a minute. But our shop's looking really good. Our live stream, hopefully within the next week or two, maybe three, but our first live stream is going to happen. And we've got the projection mapping going. We don't have the full production in, but we've got all the projection mapping done. It's looking very, very nice and pro. So one of the reasons I haven't done the shareholder meeting yet is because I wanted the GTV headquarters to be perfect before I had our shareholders come. But I think now with the way it's starting to look like we can bring people out here. So what I'll do is I'll definitely get with my team and try to pick a day, maybe outside of our shows in between September and New Year's, and really just try to have a shareholder meeting. I think that'd be really cool.
So I want to give you a little bit more of an opportunity to talk about it because I can tell it's something that you're excited about. Let's talk about the shows for a minute while we wait for a couple more questions to come in.
Sure.
You're talking about some of your favorite, artists being there and how this is going to be a really great show. When you're planning these out, what's the thought process? I mean, end of the world is a ridiculous theme in a good way for a show. I mean, like how do you come up with that, and then how do you say, hey, you know what, this is the talent that I want, this is the event center that we're going to use for this. I mean, that doesn't sound like it's a small feat.
Well, one of the things that we did after COVID was we try to really theme all of our shows, which no one really does out here. So we have 4 flagship shows right now. We have Seismic Series, Winter Base, Base Wars, and Armageddon. And those are really our plans for the 4 big ones. Armageddon's got this end of the world theme, but Base Wars is gonna have like an army and military theme. Winter Base like a Christmas winter theme, and Seismic Series. We're still working on what the theme for that one's going to be because the name's a little interesting. But we're going to theme all of our shows. That's the plan. Like Syndicate, the first one we did was like an alien theme. And when we look at our shows, it really just depends on what we're aiming to do. Like New Year's, if we get lucky on New Year's and we make this happen, which I really believe we will, we're gonna really try to theme it as maybe like a Burning Man theme and bring in some like Burning Man art cars and like we're not make it like a heavy headbang show, but try to make it more like a dance party because it's New Year's and we want everyone to have the vibes in the right place and have a great time. And so it just depends on the show, what we're doing, what we're looking to accomplish. Is it a weird show? Is it a dubstep show? Is it a dance show? What time of year it is? What the name of the show is. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Also, with the artists, we really try to find big name headliners now that we know will sell tickets, and two, we try to put in a lot of names that not many people know that are unbelievable. And we've actually done really well. A lot of the artists we booked in the past were nobodies, and now they're some of the biggest artists in the world. So it's pretty cool watching these guys that we found, from just SoundCloud and Apple Music and just really really small artists that we loved. We'd book them. No one would know them, and then a couple years later, they're playing every major festival out there.
So is that one of the things that you think sets you apart from some of these other event companies? Is one, the theming, and two, the fact that you are giving these little guys the chance to kind of show off, and a lot of these guys will remember that. I mean, there's multiple instances of famous rock bands that'll go back and play at the dive bar that gave them their first shot just because they remember somebody taking a chance on them when no one else would.
Yeah, 100%. We try to find artists that we believe will be huge. That's part of the reason why we opened this label. We believe there's so many of these artists that are so good that no one knows about, and we want to highlight them. We're also working on a management division. Labels are great because if you're a label, you can make money as a label, pretty much just off royalties off their off the songs that blow up, merchandise. But having a management company as well that ties into the label is great because now if you manage an artist and they get booked, which we can help them get booked, we now can make money on their booking. So having the combo is what we're really looking to do, and we're putting a plan in place to get the management side of the business up and running as well. But yeah, not only is it just highlighting these little artists that no one knows about that are amazing, but it's also about giving them a full show. A lot of times when you go to an event and you see small artists, they don't have screens. Like they don't have anything on the visual wall. So we like to give our artists visuals. We like to give our artists a lot of lasers, a full production, a loud sound. Where a lot of these promoters, they don't like to really showcase the artists that aren't known, and they like to really highlight the artists that are known. But we like to do both, even our locals, because we believe our locals are amazing as well.
Now, I don't know the legality of things, and it may be a stupid question on my part, but do you feel that, Saunder will play I'd say a fairly decent role in your shows going forward since you have, these fantastic products and, you have the ability to kind of know who's going to show up and, how many people and what distribution that would look like?
Absolutely. Right after Armageddon, Saunder is going to be working towards marketing every single one of our shows and the branding and everything else. So that's Saunder Agency, not Saunder Fulfillment.
So actually, another question, I guess, just relating to the whole GTVH experience. Are there any updates regarding La Pragma and the payment processing?
Yeah, payment processing is done. So we just haven't turned it on because we're getting to the 1 yard line of actually finalizing this acquisition. The acquisition is very intricate. So there's a lot of people. I would say not a lot of people. I'd say there's 5 different players involved on making this acquisition happen, and then there's a lot of moving pieces. So I expect probably by hopefully today, if not early next week, I expect to get a thumbs up from the final person regarding the term and the structure, which I did get a thumbs up, but then I had to basically spell out all the terms of the transaction, and now I'm waiting for a final thumbs up. So I got a verbal thumbs up, and then I had to write it down and send it out to all parties, and now the last person is going to give me a written thumbs up that the transaction and the structure works. Once that's completed, I'm expecting any day. Basically, the second he just says yes, I'm going to contract our counsel. They're going to write up all the different contracts. Once the contracts are written up, all of them will get reviewed by each party involved in the transaction. Once everyone executes, we pay. I'm sorry, once everyone executes, we then begin our final DD, meaning we got to go to the supply. We need to make sure that the inventory is in place. And then once that's completed, we can pay. So yeah, there's a process. We're getting close. We're moving towards that every single day.
Okay, a question from Guy says the recent news on Saunder lists 10,000 units within the week to Mexico. Is there a rough number of units or an average number of units they move per month altogether, not just to Mexico, just what they've already been able to move with some kind of measurement?
Great question. That's a Nathan question. I wish I could answer that right here, but I believe that this contract is going to develop into substantially more than 10,000 units a month. Remember, it's 30,000 stores. So if you think about it, they might take, let's just say 5,000 of their stores. They might take the 10,000 units and spread them out to, let's say, 5,000 stores. And this is just hypothetical based on what I believe could happen. They'll put these units in 5,000 stores, for example, and they'll see for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks as to how many are selling and in which stores are selling, which stores are not selling. And I believe then they'll get an algorithm or at least an understanding of what stores are doing well, what products are selling, and what their volume's looking like. From there, I believe that they're going to reorder and then grow, and I think they're going to grow and grow and grow and grow into 30,000 stores. And then I think it gets a lot bigger as well, but we'll save the fun for last on Mexico.
And actually, a question that we missed but ties really well into this. A question from Craig says, uh, when do you guys usually receive payment? Is it when the distributor receives the product or when it's actually sold off the shelf?
No, when we manufacture and it gets shipped, we receive payment before it gets shipped
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
on this deal,
So,
on Mexico for sure.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we send product to Mexico and then don't get paid, you'll never see our product.
Fair enough. Let's see. On the La Pragma acquisition, do you already have the cash in escrow?
The cash is not in escrow, but we do have the cash earmarked.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see where else we have here. Another question from Dom. Well, first he says, "Great job on the Electric Soil podcast. That was awesome."
Thank you.
He says, "You mentioned something about sporting events. Would these be normal sports or some mad, crazy alternative sports that would be on brand with the same epic theme of your music events?" That is a really good question.
Well, the sporting I mentioned sporting events because our virtual reality platform. Let's say you're holding a I'll give you an example. Maybe like a UFC fight, but that's a bad example because that's any sporting event, basketball, maybe college sports, any single sport that or any single company that does any type of sport or event that wants to monetize their sport or event to the world, they now can utilize our platform to do so. Meaning they can sell tickets to the world rather
Right.
than just the area that they're in.
Right. You're kind of just providing the platform, and it's up to them as to what they want to broadcast.
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. Floody asks when GTVH Moonshine.
What was that? I'm sorry.
He wants to know when you guys are going to make moonshine along with the wine.
Yeah, I got to talk to Aaron about that. That's a great idea.
I listen. I would drink some moonshine. I'm not going to lie. Craig asks, 2019 wines should be bottled or being bottled soon. What does that look like for the lodge? I'm sure that's an
Great
Aaron
question.
question.
Is Aaron on here?
Let's see. Bo is on here. I don't see Aaron.
Okay, no worries. So repeat the question one more time. I'll try to do my best to answer it.
No, all good. It says 2019 wines should be bottled or in the process of being bottled soon. What does that look like for the lodge?
Yeah, so we're working on getting 10 new bottles, 10 new wines. I'm sure some of them will stay the same, but we're working on new wine that we can reproduce in large quantities. And the reason why is we have a lot of distributors that are interested. And the moment we have a product that we can consistently reproduce, we'll be able to start bringing these distributors to the table like we did. And we believe that we're going to get significant traction. So wine is going great. Aaron's working on sourcing all of that product as we speak. In addition to that, he's working towards the many other projects within Napa Wine Brands. And I can tell you that just from the distributors and the relationships we brought to the table already, everyone wants to see that happen. And they've also let us know that once that does, let's regroup and get back to the table and see what we can do to make something happen.
All right, let's see. We may be at the end of our questions for now. Let's see. Uh, okay, here we go. Guy has another question for you. It says, Lodge question if you can ask it correctly. Is the Lodge still on the go list or is it the wait list for. Hold on. I'm waiting to see if he's going to change the wording on this. Is it still a go as to whether or not you guys would be able to do wine tasting?
Oh, it's absolutely a go. Where our plan is to build a lodge. That's the goal within the company, absolutely. But I don't understand the question 100%.
I think I think it's more. Is this a near term project or is this going to be like a down the road project?
Well, once again, it goes down to capital. It's like the Sahara Event Center. Do we spend $10 million on a lodge or $5 million or whatever it costs right now, and come up with a way to raise that money, or do we focus on our other projects that bring in cash flow and profits, and when the time is right, make that happen? So that's the goal. Our goal is to not overextend ourselves and raise a significant amount of money here when we have other projects that don't require a significant amount of money to get off the ground and to become profitable.
I mean, look, that again, I've said it before. That's the best way to do this. You don't want to take on too many things at once, especially, hey, I need funding for this and funding for that. And by the way, we've got, 12 other projects that we still, have money in escrow for, but we can't. It becomes a too many cooks situation. So I think that's the best way to handle it.
Yeah, we really just want to keep our focus directed at things that make sense and generate profits immediately. And then I know the company is going to be very profitable. I really believe that we're going to be so profitable, we're not going to know how to spend our money. And we're going to do great things like build epic lodges and venues and just awesome, amazing projects that benefit the world. That's our goal.
Let's see. All right, looks like we have a question from Craig saying, any plan to sell wine via text like Gary Vaynerchuk and wintext.com, selling Napa Wine Brand specials on a weekly basis or something similar?
Great idea. Great idea. I'm going to send that to Aaron. Thank you. I would say that makes total sense, and we absolutely should.
Let's see.
We can, Bo. How you doing?
Give me 1 second.
To everyone, you have to go through your cell phone, get your earbuds on. I'm a computer guy. I'm sitting there on the computer trying to figure this out. Are there any questions that I haven't answered? Well, I'm sure there is, but I wasn't there probably when they were being asked. Should we revisit that right now, or
I think you're good, Bo. I haven't seen any unless any
uh,
pops up.
just up there, up in the beginning? There was. some kind of question about using OZOP power. And of course, that's a question, down the road, step one, step two, step three, where we're at right now, that we'll entertain that. I will sneak a little posit in here that being in the hydrogen business, I'm I'm under NDA on a couple of deals, but it's very possible that we'll be having a significant lower price per kilowatt using the technology that's associated with, let's just say, our hydrogen, not hydro, something else. So I'll keep that and let that just kind of float. But yes, we're open to doing whatever we can to be green, whether it's solar, OZOP, hydrogen, whatever. But that's going to be down the road. I need everyone to remember we're launching with our single and dual core technologies, and we're going to be pretty overwhelmed with that in 2022. We are going to be doing a small rollout with our Thunderbolt, sometime during 2022 with in-house operations. I think everybody knows what that is. So we will be revealing things about Thunderbolt as we go through the year, and I'm sure there's going to be, we're going to be so overwhelmed. Then there's a second question about needing regional sales managers and all that kind of thing. Steph and I are working on that. Got somewhat of a plan in place. Being factory direct means you have to have regional reps and understand all that. We've got time for that, and we will have plenty of folks. We've already got a vice president of sales on board. He's now on the website. Steph and I have got other things that we'll be working on. That's going to be a fun time, but we're learning how to delegate more and get more people trained up, and it's going to be exciting times as we grow.
Thank you, Bo.
Well, thank you.
Perfect. So let's see. Actually, I had another question. Uh, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, and I apologize. Goody be patient. Uh, asked, was the majority of revenue on the financials this past quarter from Saunder?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. You finally got your question answered. Dom asks, well, he says, in other words, as hydrogen gets created, you could tokenize that, and then the restaurants can earn the hydrogen equivalent of airline miles for buying product. Did I miss half the conversation here? Okay, Dom, I'm going to let you continue typing, because I think we got half the text. In the meantime, is there anything else you wanna update us on, Stefan?
Well, we've been very busy.
Yeah,
Very,
no.
very busy. Unbelievably busy. It's a good question. I would say that we've been really focusing on our live streams, on our concerts. 2 weeks is a big night. Not just that. All the transactions within Saunder. It's unbelievable how many things that the team is working towards. I saw a little message that someone noticed. Nathan purchased a publicly traded company. The symbol's PRMK. I would say that I would just keep your eyes on it and don't do anything with it, but just know that something within our company is going to happen on that, and it's going to be very fun, and it's going to be really awesome for everyone. And don't do anything though. Just watch and just see what happens, and just know that we're gearing up for just a pretty big splash. So I'm excited. I've literally been busting my tail to make all this happen, and we're really working so hard for everyone. And I know what's coming, and I'm just so excited.
Look, you know, I'm excited for what you guys are building. I know I get a little bit more insight than most people do. I can't wait to see a couple key things come to fruition. Um, I mean, really, I think the next few months are going to be very telling for where GTVH goes in the future.
Yeah. Oh, one other good thing I want to tell you guys is that Sequire SRAX, they actually start on Thursday. They actually sent me an email yesterday saying they start Thursday next week. Now, are they going to postpone that again? Maybe, but no. It looks like they're done. They're ready to go next Thursday. They disseminate their banner ads. They start the big marketing push, which is very exciting. Now, regarding our research report, we've had a lot of last minute adjustments and last minute edits and last minute questions. We're working through everything we need to do with them. I'm trying my hardest to get that out as soon as possible. And the second I'm done, I'm going to show everyone what it looks like. So we're excited, and everything's happening, I think the way it needs to happen.
Let's see. Guy asks, what do the numbers for the next show look like as far as pre-sale tickets, if you're able to share that?
I don't know. I don't know what pre-sale tickets. Ian runs Epic Raves, and I don't even. He gives me updates. I haven't even asked him what the tickets look like. If we sell out 3,000 tickets, we'll do, I think, about $150,000 in revenue. If we sell 1,500 tickets, we'll do 75. So our merch shop should do well. We're expanding our merch shop, so that should be nice. We should have a nice food vendor inside, but ultimately the show is just going to be insane. And I think if the people that do come to this show, it's at the hockey rink, so it's 3,000 cap. But I think this show is really going to make a statement. And New Year's Eve, if we get New Year's Eve, that show is going to blow the doors off this entire city.
Actually, another good question relating to that. You're talking about how much you guys do in revenue. There was a question about alcohol sales. Can you explain how that side works? Do you get a portion of the sales, or is it like a fixed percentage?
Yeah, we get a fixed percentage of the sales. Like we'll get 10% of the sales up until like X amount of dollars at the bar. I think it's like 50 grand at the bar. Once the bar does 50 grand, then we go up to like 15%. There's checkpoints, and we have, I guess, staged checkpoints all the way up to 25% of the bar. Having our own venue, which is nice, is we'll get half the bar. So that's the goal. I'm sorry, having our own venue, we'll get all the bar rather than half the bar, because we'll have our own liquor license.
So I know getting a liquor license, at least in New York, is a whole pain in the ass. Is it easier over where you guys are?
I would assume so, because it's Vegas, but then again, I don't know. I think it's an application. I think it's about 100 grand. I think you can buy them off other people that have them. There might be a set amount in the city, and I think you have to like purchase them from someone else. But the exact logistics on that, I'm not 100%.
Oh, that's not terrible. You should see what it is in New York. It's stupid.
I don't quote me on that as well. I'm really not 100%.
It's all good, man. Let's see. What else do we got here? Okay, there was talk about possibly creating hydrogen drinking water. Oh, an appliance for it. Are you guys still kicking the tires on that?
Well, that's a Bo question. Bo, you there?
Absolutely. Y'all hearing me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Already got a prototype, a couple of them. Absolutely. That's not in step one, step two. That's step three to go retail. So that'll be in our home and garden series when that comes out down the road. But absolutely, we can make some pretty good whitewater right there at your sink. You don't even have to have an appliance. We can have it where either yourself or your plumber can install it under your sink on your the tap that's next to the faucet, and you just have a drinking water thing there. You'll probably have to let it run about 15 seconds so that you bleed all the water out so that you'll get the white water, and it won't be pressurized, so you'll be able to see it. So you'll just look at the water. When you start seeing the opaque look, you'll know you're getting it. But yes, that's still going to come out sometime in the future.
All right, great. Thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
And then another question from Dom. How is the team doing since the loss of Jordan a few weeks ago?
And it's been pretty rough. It was very sad. Very sad. Lost a brother of mine and member of this family, so it was tough. But we're all hanging through, and we're all building an amazing company. And one of the projects Jordan was working on was one of the two massive projects within the entertainment. And fortunately, we've now picked up that project. We've created an exact plan on how to bring it to the finish line, and we're working towards that every day.
I'm sorry, man.
We're gonna make sure that his family's well taken care of for his idea and what he's done.
I respect it. I mean, honestly, I think that's the most respectful thing that you can do.
Yeah, no doubt. But he's looking over us, so.
So, all right, we'll take two more. One will be from Craig. This is another question for Bo. It says, any hydrogen water benefits for pools?
Well, I've already made contact. You have to understand, to be able to get rid of chlorine, not that we can't work with that, but to be able to replace chlorine in a pool so that you can just have a hydrogen pool that is healthy for health benefits. Uh, we're going to be potentially partnering or bringing in-house, Stefan, a technology that will work with ours. Just imagine you've got your pump station and your recirculation equipment out next to your pool. How would you like to be able to not have to deal with chlorine ever again? Have a special ionization kind of technology that works with our technology, where not only you're filling your pool with hydrogen water, but you're killing the bacterial elements that come to the pool. But as soon as you turn on your recirculation, a hydrogen system comes on and you're recirculating. Your jets in your pool are pushing out whitewater. Right. So you get in your spa, your jacuzzi, your swimming pool, and you won't want to get out till your fingers are all wrinkled. But anyway, yes, sir, definitely on the plans. It will probably come out post Home and Garden series.
Imagine if you hook these up to a pool and you don't need to clean your pool anymore. Not that I'm saying that could happen, but imagine that.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. So, Bo, I have an ionizer for my pool to keep the copper levels down. Would that work in conjunction with something like that?
Well, that's possible, but this is actually a little bit beyond that. It's an ozone 3, in conjunction with hydro. So we'll be announcing that when the time is right. I've already had initial conversations with them, and they would love to do it. But Stefan, I haven't really got with Stefan to sit down and paper anything up or even get into some initial discussions about it because we're so overloaded right now.
Fair enough. Let's see. All right, guys, we'll take one more question. So fire away and make it a good one. Actually, that's a pretty good question. Is there a way to sample the hydro drinking water?
Sample? What do you mean? They want to drink a glass of it somewhere?
Yeah, maybe a glass, a bottle. Maybe they can buy a bottle.
Okay, well, no, not hydro drinking water, but when our single and dual cores come out to the farmers, I'm sure I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to say, well, if you've got acceptable drinking water, run the hose into your pitcher of water and pour all the workers a glass of hydrogen water. It'll help them out. So yes, from the single core, dual core, that's going to go out to indoor operations and your small farms. Yes, but as far as the product being available, that's going to be when the Home and Garden series comes out. All I can do is just lead people to go and locate a hydrogen water appliance. In the meantime, they're available on Amazon. You're going to pay a pretty penny for them, and you're going to have maintenance issues and replacements and stuff like that. But that's something to do for health.
Yeah, so if also, Bo, I got to assume if anyone wants to come to the facility, you can turn on that unit in the back and just give them a glass, right?
Oh man, we got to have one there at the home office. Got it, brother.
Yeah, anytime. And Dom, why did I laugh so hard when the electric soil guy asked if Bo was ripped? Bo, what are you, like 6 years old? You look like you're 25, so that's why I laughed.
I do go to the gym and take care of myself. I can still drive a golf ball over 250 yards. But as far as looking like Stefan, you talk about ripped. That's
No,
somebody
yeah,
who's ripped.
you're right.
Look like Dick Buckus.
Not yet. I need some of that hydrogen water.
All right, so you know what? Why don't you get one of those systems for the Las Vegas office, and then when we do the investor meeting, everybody can have hydrogen water.
That's a great idea.
You got it, guys.
Earmark one of those for me, Bo.
Oh, you got it, dude.
Awesome. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Guys, this was a blast. Gotta love it. Gotta be cheaper than Monster. Thanks, buddy.
I think
Now that I know how to do this, I'll learn to go to my cell phone and get on board, and we'll have some fun. There's a lot of things I wanted to kind of leak out to folks about some things on the website, about some things about markets, a market that no one's even thought about for the single and dual core, but especially the single. But I'll leave that to the Q and to the chat, and we'll just I'll follow with everyone there on that, and they can follow.
Awesome. Thanks, Bo. John, thanks so much. Really appreciate everyone, and I look forward to sharing a lot more in the days ahead. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys, have a good one.
All right. Love you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.